Hi everybody, I'm Bree and this is my surrogacy journey. Thank you so much for everyone who is joining me here on my channel again. And I'm sorry it took me a little while to get another video out for you guys, but I had my first tough day in my surrogacy / IVF journey, and it just kind of took me a few days to reset and get in a good headspace to be able to film again. So as some of you know, I started IVF now 5 weeks ago. It will be 5 weeks tomorrow, and it's been a really smooth process. I started by just doing the Lupron injections with a small needle in the belly once a day, every day. And then after a couple of weeks, I started the estrogen injections, which are bigger, and they are intermuscular injections in the glute muscle. But those were only twice a week, Monday and Friday. I am still doing that, but I stopped the Lupron. So Tuesday, today is Sunday, so Tuesday of last week was my last day of the Lupron, and Wednesday I started the progesterone, which is also once a day, every day. So still one injection a day, except for on Mondays and Fridays where it overlaps with my estrogen injection, and I do 2 a day. To give you all a little bit of information about what happened and why I was having a little bit of a rough time was I started the progesterone injection on Wednesday, and I had to do my labs on Thursday to check my levels. So I did that in the morning, and that evening around 4 I was at work, and Marissa from ORM, who is my coordinator with the fertility clinic, called me and asked how the injection went, and I said it was fine. You know, it's really the same as the estrogen injection, then the needle size is the same, and still, you know, intermuscular in the glute muscle, so fine. It was totally fine. And she just keeps talking to me, and come to find out, my levels were way low. We keep talking, and I totally messed up, and I did the wrong dosage on Wednesday. So when they sent me the estrogen, they sent me a set of syringes, and then when they sent me the progesterone, which came later, they sent me another set of syringes. And it was the same needle size, so I just didn't even think about using the other set. I was like, okay, I just have a ton of backup now. And the syringe is actually different, and I should have paid more attention. The needle size is the same, but the actual syringe holds more medicine than the one that I have been using for my estrogen. So I should have paid way more attention, but I used the syringe that I used for my estrogen injection, and instead of doing 1, I think it was milliliter, I did 0.1. I did way less than I was supposed to do, and it was just an oversight on my part. It was no one else's fault, it was mine. I did watch the videos that they sent me in an email in the very beginning. They send an email with injection videos teaching you how to do it, and I did do a teaching when I went for my screening process back in July. It was the process was all good. I just got the dosage wrong. I just didn't do enough of it. So Marissa said basically the best thing to do would be to pretend that I didn't even start the progesterone injection on Wednesday, and my new official start date would be Thursday. So that also means instead of doing my transfer day on the next Tuesday, now it's a day later on Wednesday. And I know it's just a day, but when I got the call and I was at the salon, and I have been feeling so positive and so good, and I have been very optimistic that everything was going to go smoothly, and we weren't gonna have any hiccups, and the transfer is gonna take first try. Now I'm just feeling a little bit less positive. I was feeling pretty doubtful. I was thinking, okay, now what if the transfer doesn't take? I was feeling so positive about everything, and then this happened, and so what if this happens or that happens? And I am a pretty positive person for the most part, and I also am the kind of person that once I set my mind to something, I'm doing it. And I do it with my whole heart and my whole soul, and I feel 110% confident in what I'm doing. And I am not someone that typically has any kind of self-doubt. I was in a weird headspace for a few days, and that's why I didn't film earlier. I tried to film and I couldn't do it. I knew I had this just kind of aura about me that was just like, I wasn't even approachable. I was just totally not in a good headspace, and I'm not normally that way, and it was really hard for me to wrap my head around. It happened. What I was really frustrated with too is that I'm a hairstylist. For those of you who don't know, I work for an Aveda Concept Salon in Northern California, and I normally work Wednesday to Saturday, and I had already had to move my clients on Wednesday and Thursday to accommodate my transfer days. And now I also had to move my clients on Friday, and I had clients scheduled on Friday from earlier in the week. So now this is the second time that I had to move them. And now it's so soon, I can't accommodate them in my schedule. I have to give them to someone else and mess up other people's schedules. On top of all of that, ORM requires that I have someone accompany me to the transfer, which is totally understandable and not a problem. My mom lives in Denver, and she was flying to Oregon to accompany me to the transfer, and she's staying with me the whole time, and then that's that. But now her schedule also has to change, and it's so frustrating for me when I do love having a plan. I'm a planner, but I'm pretty flexible. I realize that life happens and things change, and that's okay. I just don't like when something that changes in my life or my personal schedule is now affecting other people. I don't want things affecting other people. I don't want to have other people change their plans and their schedules around me. And that's just how I am. And so I was feeling really disappointed. I asked if there was any way that I could maybe up my dosage, or if there was anything that I could do that wouldn't affect my transfer day. And Marissa said she talked to the doctor, and at the end of the day, this is just the best thing. Now, I am not a religious person, but I do believe in the power of the universe and karma, and I try to remember that everything happens for a reason, even when it's really hard to do that sometimes. And so I am finally at a place where I'm realizing this happened for a reason. My 1-year-old son is sick. He woke up at 4:30 this morning throwing up. And if my transfer was still scheduled for Tuesday, we'd be flying out tomorrow late morning, early afternoon. And so now this gives him an extra day to recover and get healthy again. There's this weird 24-hour bug going around my area, and he's already feeling a lot better. And what's super nice is my husband wasn't able to take any time off of work on Monday to drive my son and I to the airport and help us out. But now that I don't leave until Tuesday, he's actually able to take us to the airport and help us with our checked baggage. And it's better. It's better this way. And I know that it happened for a reason. It's just hard to wrap your head around in the moment. And in the scheme of things, one day is not going to affect the bigger picture. But in the moment, it felt like the end of the world. I was super emotional, and I just had a hard time. But it's behind me. So now, today, like I said, today is Sunday. So I have today and tomorrow to do laundry and pack up and then I'm leaving on Tuesday. We'll leave the house in the morning, and my husband is able to take my son and I to the airport, and I have 2 things that I have to check, and so he'll be able to park and walk over and help us with all of that, which is really awesome. It will be nice to have that help. And I am bringing my son along. We don't normally have childcare on Mondays or Tuesdays because I'm home, and our drop-off pickup schedule is just going to be really difficult if Aiden stayed behind, and my husband had to try and work that all out on his own. Plus, I have my mom who's going to be there so she can help me out with Aiden, and it was just better. So the plan is fly out on Tuesday. We'll get into Portland at about 1:30, and then we will check into the hotel, and we have that night to do whatever. I can be out and about in the city, go have dinner, relax, get settled into the hotel. Wednesday is my transfer day. So Wednesday, I think that's the 25th, is my transfer day at 9:30 a.m. So bright and early. And after the transfer, I am on strict bed rest. They don't want me getting up at all unless it's to use the restroom. So all day Wednesday after the transfer and all day on Thursday, I'm on strict bed rest, and then I'm cleared to fly home on Friday. So we'll all pack up and we'll be out of there on Friday. And then I will be pregnant until proven otherwise. I do have to go in for labs tomorrow just to check my levels one more time before I fly out, but that is the tentative plan. I take my first blood pregnancy test 9 days after. I'll know pretty darn quick if I am pregnant. I do 2 more pregnancy tests by the blood work. They do labs for me. I do 2 more after that original one 9 days after the transfer, just to make sure that HCG levels are going up the way that they're supposed to. But I'm trying to remain hopeful and optimistic. I don't think that I am super nervous, and I don't think that I am super excited right now. I'm kind of in this middle ground, okay, I still have my labs to do tomorrow, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that my levels are where they're supposed to be and everything is set in motion and we're good to go. And I'm just staying optimistic and I'm staying hopeful, but I'm not getting overly excited, and I'm not trying to really get my hopes up in case things change again. I'm just kind of neutral. So that's what's new. So I have been doing the progesterone injection technically since Wednesday, but that was way less than I was actually supposed to be doing. So it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 3 days. The first 2 days I was just doing the 1 milliliter, and then yesterday it bumped up to 2 milliliters, and I am sore. They saved the best for last for these injections. This one is not necessarily more painful when I'm doing it, because I have been doing the intramuscular injections now for a little while, so I don't think I'm used to it, but I am prepared and aware of what it's gonna feel like. But it's sore. It hurts. It hurts today, and every day after. So I am optimistic, and I will keep updating you guys, and I'm still really excited to move forward with my journey. I'm just kind of at a weird place right now where things are set in motion, but they're just kind of wishy-washy. They're still up in the air, and things can change. So I'm just level. Thank you again so much for everybody who takes the time out of your day to sit down and watch these videos. I'm making these videos so it's an easier conversation for people to have, because surrogacy isn't something that's really talked about, and I want to be able to get as much information out there as I can. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I don't know everything about surrogacy, but I can share what I am learning in my experience. I hope that it helps you to understand what I'm going through a little bit better and why I'm doing it and why I'm so inspired by this. Whether you are a surrogate or you are thinking about being a surrogate, maybe you are you're an intended parent, and so you either have a surrogate or you need a surrogate. And even for people who have a close friend or a family member, even a coworker who is a surrogate, and you don't really know what that means, and you don't know how to talk about it, and you don't want to offend them. I am not offended by questions, but not everyone is that way. Some people are more private, and that's okay. But that's why I'm making these videos and putting my private life out there so that people can learn more about what this means and what the process looks like. And I hope you're really enjoying watching these videos and you're taking something away from it, and it is a learning experience for you just as much as it is for me. So please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to continue watching my videos and follow my journey. I am going to be filming my organ and transfer experience. Obviously I can't film when the transfer is happening, but I am going to be filming a few days of that experience, and I'll make one big video for you guys. So look out for that, and I will see you next time. Bye.